season below 500 since 2018. Now the Terriers trying to take that next step and become an NCAA tournament regular. They've made it just once. Mullen and Murphy again, and this time Mullen goes early, so for the first time today, BU wins a faceoff. Here's Jimmy Core, guarded by Jordan Beck. He's the third starting defenseman for Syracuse today. There were a lot of questions on who would get that starting nod, replacing Michael Grace. But it is Beck, the senior, very experienced and big down low.
He's spent a lot of time on the man down unit over his career here.
Burns knocked to the ground. A loose ball in front, and it's Figueres who comes up with it. If there's a ground ball in the area, Riley Figueres will usually have it. He's got incredible stick skills with the pole. But here's the 10-man ride causing some difficulties, and he's just got to chuck it. Anderson can't keep it in. That's not what you want to do with 7 seconds left, is it?
That is exactly what BU is looking for, right? Syracuse gets very frantic. McCarthy looked to almost run that out, but then got deterred by the double team, throws it back. Syracuse needs to be aware. Any settled clear, BU is going to go into that 10-man.
That's the first time we've seen the Terriers be able to fully implement it in this game. Gary Gates said that he is prepared for it, but it's been a little bit more difficult with the new roster caps to prepare for a 10-man ride, because an 11-on-11 scrimmage is essentially your entire team.
And riding and clearing, it really is such a momentum game within the game, right? If your D-mids are not comfortable with the ball, or your long poles, you know, they have a turnover or two, they're going to start overthinking that. So that's a really nice start for BU on that 10-man.
Hart's shot goes way off the mark. Just nowhere to go for Shanahan. Now it's with Ben Morris. He tries down the alley, denied by Chuck Kaczynski, the top long stick midi for Syracuse. He's an extremely aggressive, physical player. Forte again, denied by Jimmy McCool. The reigning ACC goalie of the year with the stop. And now the 10-man ride once again in full effect. Juan's got 5 seconds to get it over. He goes for goal, misses it, but Finn Thompson was closest to the end line, and he wanted the quick restart, but he'll have to slow it down.
It's a tough call. I think you could have given that ball to BU as well. Syracuse is going to look to isolate that goalie on the far side. He's going out on Peyton Anderson. But they're going to have to look to see, you know, what D-midi is going to demand that ball, run by a couple guys. D-midis have to be some of the best athletes on the field. You got to show it in that.
Otto and Spallina running the 2-man. Otto, one of the fastest guys on the team. Wins the battle, turns and scores! The junior with his first of the season. Scored just 7 all of last year.
Hoddle's a guy Coach March and Coach Gate are really high on. You see Spallina sets a nice pick there, and Connor Kemp does not want to leave him, really giving Wyatt Hoddle those 2 or 3 extra steps, able to get to that left hand, which I believe is his offhand. Really nice finish there, gets one past Phillips.
So Wyatt Hoddle, the junior out of Calvert Hall, native of Baltimore, with his first of the season.
And not to make that all about Spallina, right? But he's a guy we're going to just continue to highlight. Everyone is. When he can get in those off-ball rolls, impact the game that way.
Off the crossbar on the bounce, the second chance, no good, and McCool with the dive to win possession.
Great hustle there by McCool. And BU's right back into this 10-man.
Syracuse does get it over midfield. Leo's got an open net, but he'll just slow it down. It's always tough, isn't it, to decide when to shoot, when not to. Ooh, that time Leo just lost focus. And Shanahan's got numbers. Bounces it wide.
Syracuse a little sloppy, right? Not exactly what you want to see after, especially kind of how they exited last year against Maryland. You know, Maryland just a machine, went up 8-1 on them in that Final Four game. Syracuse with just some sloppy plays.
And with that sloppiness, Gary Gait decides to call a timeout, but Syracuse with a 2-goal lead just under 4 minutes into the second quarter. Patriot League, though, a one-bid league, and Syracuse quite familiar with some of those other Patriot League teams like Army and Colgate.
Such a strong league. They all beat up on each other all spring. You know, you never know who's going to come out of that league. There's, you know, usually 3 to 4 teams that have a serious chance of winning that tournament.
Forte going up against Bowen. Again, he's the Ohio State transfer, the only transfer this season into Syracuse.
Riley Figueres is really forcing Timothy Shanahan to go to his right.
Now Shanahan has the matchup he wants, but Figueres will come switch. Tried to force it up top to Mike Rooney.
BU has to take advantage of that. You can see they feel like Shanahan is such a threat that they're willing to double him behind the cage if he throws that one away. He wants that one back. 5
turnovers from both these teams. It has been a bit of a sloppy start, but first game of the season, that's something that you can expect.
Maybe some early season jitters. We also heard from Coach Gate, his team has not been able to practice in the Dome at all year. So this is the freshman's first time in here. Obviously, it's BU's first time in the Dome. They practiced yesterday in the Ensley Center, which is back at the athletic facilities here. It's a different atmosphere in the Dome for sure.
Definitely brighter lights, and of course, the biggest fan base in the country. In front, what a save by Phillips again. And Thompson landed in the goal mouth.
Phillips is impressive.
He has just been incredible, especially after his struggles last season. He only played 11 minutes, but had a goals against average over 30. Now he's given up 4 goals, but he's got 5 saves to his name.
BU staff has to be really happy with their decision. Name him the starter.
It was a very tight battle. Michael Alieri, who started at Marquette for 2 years, also a part of that goalie room. Hard up against Ochoa. He's already won this matchup once today. Shanahan. Got to get something going soon. Forte with Jake Spallina on him. This is the matchup he wants against the shorty. Gets in front, denied by McCool.
I'd like to see Forte just be a little bit more aggressive with his strong left hand. He's settling for some low angle shots. They're going to need to rely on him to beat these short sticks and be an aggressive dodger.
Ethan Hart takes it into the corner. Let's see if he can get anything done here. Jimmy Core, the senior, led BU in goals last year. Now he's got his first of this season. And the Terriers are not going to make this an easy start to the season for Syracuse.
Jimmy Core, I'm surprised this is the first time I'm saying his name all day. Very, very capable attackman. Believe he was one of their leading scorers last year. Really strong lefty and righty, but his IQ stands out from watching film, right? Scores a lot of goals in a lot of different ways. He's not terribly imposing as an athlete, right? But just a really sound lacrosse player. He's poised for a great senior year.
Core scored in every game last season, had multiple goals in 14 of 16. And he's especially dangerous on the man-up unit. 9 EMO goals last year. By the way, that was his 50th career goal. Now a chance off the face-off, just wide to the left, but the Terriers were there to back it up. So now you're seeing Boston University have some more success on the face-off. It feels like the momentum's shifting their way a little bit. Both teams with 1 goal here in the second quarter. Burns on Bowen again. Ooh, a rocket of a shot by Forte.
BU working that 2-man game on the left wing. Forte in the picking position.
Shanahan, he's been shut down pretty much all day so far by Figueres.
Figueres so good, so fundamentally sound. Right, you could watch a game and not notice him a ton, and that's a good thing for a defender. Right, not a lot of mistakes.
Here's Pape, gets by Dwan, but right into the stick of Jimmy McCool.
Not a bad take, a good dodge. Just has to be a little bit more deceptive on that shot.
Jordan Beck trying to make a decision on the clear. McCool's got to get it over. He's got 2 seconds. And even once you get it over midfield, you're not in the clear.
Syracuse just looks frazzled on the clear. Which again is the goal of the 10-man, but
what a stop by McCool on the fast break, denying Luke Davis. And now Syracuse able to get out in front of the 10-man.
Got numbers.
Bonino, the pass to Hoddle, right into the stick of Phillips. But it's knocked to the ground again. Bonino has it back.
Great save by Phillips. Hoddle ran himself out of a little bit of an angle. He could have gotten his 2nd goal of the game there. He kept it in the right hand and continued to kind of fade to X there. I think he wants that one back for sure.
Leo forces the switch. He's going up against Jackson Matthews. Former junior hockey player, walk-on to the BU lacrosse team. Now they get the switch back to his regular defender, and Spallina's got his defender hung. To Anderson, just didn't have the angle.
And BU very aware how good Joey Spallina is in the hang-ups. They're not looking to let him get back there hands-free, just shopping, looking to feed.
Now Boston University calls its first time out of the game. The Terriers are keeping this really close, of course, just a 1-goal game. The Syracuse offense just...
The Syracuse coaching staff and offense to have, right? Almost every time that he's going up on a faceoff, you feel like you have a really, really good chance of getting it, getting your team an extra possession.
And even though he's from just outside of Boston University, he was never on the radar of the Terriers. Ryan Poley said he's just one of those guys that slipped away. Anderson off the reset, dodges to goal, and Phillips does not stop it. Peyton Anderson gets his first of the season, the sophomore with the quick dodge off the reset.
Right off the whistle, Anderson filling in for Owen Hiltz. He's a big, demanding body, really hard for these defenders to match up against. Just uses his athleticism, gets underneath. But what I love about this, he continues to move his feet, finish in front of that cage, stays out of the crease. And a crafty finish to top it off.
And Anderson brings a little bit more athleticism to the attack room. Of course, you don't have the same shooting ability as Owen Hiltz, but he can dodge really, really effectively.
He's physically imposing. I believe he was a top 10, top 15 recruit. They're going to rely on him a lot these next coming years.
Tied up at the X. First time today. And now Murphy's having some more success. He wins another one after losing the first 5.
Credit the wing play there. Able to stay composed, fight through that, get their offense the ball.
Into the final 5 minutes of this first half. Here's Tyler Fox. Forces the slide. Forte up against his high school teammate Wyatt Hoddle. Two Calvert Hall players. Now Pape gets past Bowen. Just misses wide to the left.
I'd like to see the BU offense give Pape more space there off ball. But they're in that two-man game with the short sticks.
Excellent job on the recovery there from Jordan Beck. He got beat pretty easily by Jimmy Core, but at the last second got a piece of the stick and forced the shot to go way wide.
I'd expect BU to run this offense a little bit more through Jimmy Core.
Dante Bowen just throws his man to the ground, and that'll draw a flat.
White, 24, technical hold, 30 seconds.
So in his Syracuse debut, Dante Bowen into the penalty box, and now we get a chance to see this Boston University EMO unit, which last year was the best in the country at 56%.
Excited to see this unit. Look out for number 6, Mike Rooney. He had 5 goals last year on the man up and only 5 games. He was injured the rest of the year.
Also keep an eye on Jimmy Core, number 14, second in the country last season in man-up goals with 9 of them. Syracuse's man-down team, 66% last year. And interesting, they do have Wyatt Hoddle out there. He's in Sam English's spot as the short stick.
BU with a new offensive coach. Coach Morgan came over from Tufts after winning the national championship there as an offensive coordinator.
He's not going to be too happy about that. Core just tried to force it inside to Tommy Garofalo, and on the man up, it's a turnover. And an easy kill for the Orange. We're back to even strength and a flag down. Looks like an offside, and so Syracuse will go to the man up. That's a real quick change in momentum to go from being a man up 30 seconds to you turn it over, and on the ride, you have a penalty yourself.
Red 22, 30 seconds, offsides. They were man down. Set 80. Down there.
Steven, this feels like a pretty important possession here for Syracuse. You know the Orange want to go in to the half with a decent lead. I don't think they're happy up by just 2.
Yeah, you're spot on with everything you just said, even before we heard the ref, right? BU had a really nice chance there to get it to 5-4. You know, 3 minutes or so left in this second quarter. They played a good half. Defense has to lock in here.
Second chance for this extra man unit today. And that got tipped. So it gets a couple extra seconds off the clock. Elijah Brown, the OCC transfer, the guys on this man-up unit. He's on the bottom right. Tried to find Elijah Brown, but he got knocked to the ground. And that's a push in the back against Zach Magia Como. So
that's a tough call.
And we'll do it for the extra man opportunity. Syracuse does keep possession.
Credit BU. 2 tipped passes there. Thought they could have gotten away with that ground ball too.
Way outside from Spallina, but right into the stick of Phillips.
Phillips tracked that the whole way. Just with the Syracuse offense, I think they're just a little sluggish. Right, I talked about it a little bit at the break, but the ball movement is just not where it's been in previous years, and there is a personnel difference, but they got to pick up the pace here.
Just 5 goals so far. This is a SU offense that wants to be scoring 15 plus a game. They proved they could do that last year. Shanahan, he's been very quiet so far, no points. Let's see if he can find someone. No one in front of the net. Here's Core. He's got a shorty on him.
5-and-white freshman Jaden Kittleberger.
Core just turns it over, throw it right to Jimmy McCool. Kittleberger from the Rochester area, won a national championship with the Salisbury School in high school as they try to go with the long shot once again on the 10-man ride. That hasn't worked yet today. You just see the ease in clearing for BU.
Both slides sloppy here.
So the Terriers call a timeout with started his season against a ranked team. Just the 4th time in 30 years that Syracuse opens its season against a ranked team. They're 30-3 all time in home openers here in the Dome.
Billy Juwan's been great today on just sliding at the right times and just getting in the BU players' hands.
That shot blocked on its way to the net, but Rooney keeps it in his possession. Here's Pape with the short stick matchup. Now Rooney will try it against Bowen. Crossfield pass. Here's Fox. Just 10 seconds to go. Shanahan against Kaczynski. Down to 5. Gets the shot off. It was blocked, and Jake Spallina picks up the ground ball.
Billy Juwan again, really well-timed slide. Slides at a great angle, too.
And already 3 ground balls for Jake Spallina in this game. He's been all over the field. Here's Peyton Anderson to Wyatt Howell, and he's got 2 already. That's what happens sometimes when you go with the 10-man ride. It leads to an open net. Syracuse makes them pay. And with just 1 second left in the first half, barely got it off.
This play all goes to Billy Juwan. He blocks the shot. He ends up making that really nice long pass to Finn Thompson. And then just Syracuse showing their unselfish play. The one more easy finish for Hoddle on the backside.
So the Orange do get that goal before the half comes to an end. It's the 2nd goal of the game for Wyatt Hoddle. He had just 7 last year.
For the faceoff.
So the final tick of the first half, and a very tight one. Syracuse 6, Boston